Well, hi there, and happy International Podcaster Day. Welcome to the Rusty Humphries Rebellion. We are going to go live on Facebook in just a couple of minutes. I just wanted to welcome you because you're special, because you took the time to download the podcast, and man, I really appreciate it. I really, really do. So thank you very much, and we got to get on with the show. Hit this button, and then I'm going to hit this button. Got a little bit of a shine going on today, but oh well, that's how it works. You can't see me, so what do you care? All right, we're gonna get going here. I'm gonna hit the button to go live on Facebook, and then we will be off and running. Oops, let me do one more thing first before I do that. By the way, if you checked out my other podcast, it's called We Review Everything. It's with Orson Scott Card. And the show is what it says it is. We review everything. It's a lot of fun. It's a great way to get caught up on movies and audiobooks. And this last one, Orson Scott Card is one of the great science fiction authors of all time. And we talk about why Star Wars works and why it doesn't, and why George Lucas is maybe the worst director in history. So that I found it very entertaining. So let's get on with the show. Hello, welcome. My name is Rusty Humphries. This is the Rusty Humphries Rebellion. We will be live. Well, we're live now, but waiting for folks to catch up with us. And if you would please, check in. Let me know who you are, where you're a deplorable from. Also, would you share the video? Be a part of this one. It's always fun when we have tons of people and you being involved. It's a lot more fun when you're being a part of the show. So if you would, let us know who you are. Check in, say hi, tell all the neighbors, wake the kids. We're going to go live now in about 45 seconds. But I'll say here on the screen 60, just to get people ready. Bum, bum, bum. Here we're starting officially. Here we go.
Yeah, we don't want to do anything to scare your children. That's the last thing we want to do. That's a direct order. Do it now.
He's been put down, ripped off, cut open. Now he's unleashed. The American insurgency starts now. This is Rusty Humphries Rebellion Radio.
Well, hello, my brother from another mother. How you doing, my sister from another mister? Hi, welcome. How are you? My name is Rusty Humphries, and this is the Rusty Humphries Rebellion. We are powered by right-wing news, and we love those guys. We are also brought to you tonight. Tonight's show is being brought to you tonight by DerMend. Dermatologist recommended DerMend Mature Skin Solutions. This is the moisturizing anti-itch lotion, and if you are a seasoned citizen, this is specially formulated for you. For your itchy, mature skin, it has moisturizer, skin conditioning agency, and Promoxine HCI to relieve itch and irritation. And it's great stuff. It's available at Walmart, Walgreens, other great retailers. Just look for this box, and you get it, and you'll be really glad you did. They've got a lot of other great products. DerMend is a great company, and if you would support them, I would really, really appreciate it. Let's see. Who's checking in tonight? We got Gail is a deplorable from Maine. Hey, Gail. Lisa's there. Mike is in Scarsdale, New York. Peter is there. Dean saying, hey, from East Texas. Sherry is from Kentucky. Who else do we got here? Charlotte's from Charlotte, North Carolina. Sherry is an Illinois deplorable. How you doing, Sherry? Nancy is from Illinois. Michael says, God bless you, Rusty. No, God bless you, Michael. Thank you very much. By the way, Shabbat Shalom for our Jewish friends, and Happy Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement, very important in the Jewish calendar and Jewish life. And so we want to acknowledge that, although I'm guessing not a lot are watching tonight because they are doing their religious services. I got a chance to do Shabbat dinner during Yom Kippur one time in Israel, and it's quite a celebration. It is. It's hours of prayer, and then when it's over, it's eating time. But it's great, and again, we love our Jewish friends. Okay, who else? Let me check in with a few more folks, and then get to work here, because enough's enough. It's gone too far. It's gone too far, and we got to stop this crap while we have a chance, if it's not already too late. Chris checking in from Cleveland. Joe is in Ohio. Ronald in St. Louis. Michael says, God bless Puerto Rico. I'm going to get right to Puerto Rico first in just a second. Jamie is in Asheboro, North Carolina. Nanine is from Arkansas. Hey, Lowell is in Canada. Tracy is in St. Louis. James is in South Carolina. Hey, James. Hey, Jason. Hi. Gregory's in South Jersey, checking in 12 miles from Philly. Matthew's from Maryland. Carl says, Hawaii's in the house. Aloha, Carl. Lisa's checking in from Richmond, VA. Kathy from North Carolina. Susan from Pennsylvania. Tom, my best from Sydney, Australia, Rusty. I do the worst accents ever. I admit it. I won't deny that. Eric says, good to see you, Rusty. Thank you, Eric. He spells his last name. He's Humphries, and he spells it right. There's no Y in Humphries. Why would there be a Y in Humphries? I made that one up. You like that? But there's no Y in Humphries. So, he's in Atlanta, too. Good to see you. William's in Wisconsin, Virginia, Michigan. Anthony is from Davenport, Iowa. Jerry's in Connecticut. Angie in South Dakota. Joyce in Utah. And everybody else. Thank you so very, very, very much. Okay, let's get to where the left has gone too far. It's gone too far. It's gone too far. The lies, I can't take it anymore. I've talked about this a bunch of times. If something is wrong, and I don't care if it's the left or the right, and it needs to be stopped, well, it needs to be stopped. If it's something we politically disagree on, and maybe you can prove that your point of view on somebody on the left is right, fantastic. I believe in freedom of speech, and I want you to be able to tell me. I want you to be able to teach me. If you know something I don't know, well, golly jeepers. What, I want to know. Whoops, is my flag not going? Why is my flag not going? Sorry about that. We want the flag going here on the show. There we go. Sorry about that. Okay, so the other night, what's his name? Sorry. Gotta get the flag working. It was working, I thought, when the show started. I apologize. Okay, who's the douchebag that used to be on MSNBC? Now I can't even remember his name. That's how. This has me thrown. Sorry. Go. You remember who I'm talking about? The guy from MS, the really angry guy, Keith Olbermann. Keith Olbermann. Thank you. Sorry about that. So Keith Olbermann comes on TV, comes on the web, and says that Donald Trump is the blame for all the problems going on in Puerto Rico, and that he needs to be impeached. That it's just this horrible stuff going on in Puerto Rico, and that it's Donald Trump's fault. Now, I got to be honest. I've been traveling a lot, and I knew that there was some problems in Puerto Rico, but I didn't know at the time when that came out how bad it was for the people. So, but whenever Keith Olbermann talks, there's always a problem, because I know he's always got to have a spin. He's always got to have hate involved. So I watched more stuff, and what we come to find out was it wasn't Donald Trump's fault. There was a lot of things to blame, but you can't blame the President of the United States for it. So let's go and take a quick look here at a guy who is in Puerto Rico and what they are saying there on the ground.
This is unbelievable. So we're at the port here in San Juan, and we wanted to see where's the food, the supplies, everything that's needed. We got here, and here's what we were told. There are more than 3,000 shipping containers here at the port, which are just sitting here. It's got everything they need. I literally said to somebody, what's on there? And they said, whatever you need, emergency supplies, anything that a grocery store would need. But it's just sitting here. The reason why? People aren't showing up to pick it up. The people who run the port say we've got guys in line ready to put these on a truck, but nobody's showing up. The governor of Puerto Rico says they're having trouble reaching the truck drivers. Maybe their homes are destroyed.
Whoops. Okay, we lost the clip there. Sorry. So yeah, they're saying maybe the homes have been destroyed. So those guys aren't able to come to work. There's infrastructure problems. You know, again, it's a long ways. So Puerto Rico is a long ways away from Florida or Texas or where we've had some other supplies. But to sit there and blame Donald Trump for all of this mess is a lie, and it's not right. And this is where it's gone too far. The left has gone so far in their hatred of Donald Trump that nothing that he can do is right, even if he has nothing to do with it. So again, okay, this derangement syndrome has gone on too far, gone too long. I don't know if you saw this video of this idiot girl, and she gets mad over a Donald Trump hat. Did you see this one? Let me just play it. I'm not going to play the entire video, but enough to give you an idea of what these idiots are doing on the left.
You stole my property, my Make America Great Again hat.
Look at the kind of shit he's wearing. Look it.
What, you're going to turn it into student life? What the hell is your problem?
Hey, y'all. So this guy thought it would be a good idea to go into a conference
With my
wearing this
freedom of
fucking
speech.
hat.
With my freedom of speech, she took my hat.
Wearing
this
this
belongs
hat.
to me. Give it back to me. It belongs to me. This belongs to me. I bought it, and she took it from me. It is mine.
Really, look at the kind of shit he's wearing.
I understand.
You know what this represents? This represents genocide.
I understand.
Genocide of a bunch of people. And look at what he's wearing in front of a group of people.
Okay. Can I stop for just 1 second? We'll get back to this idiot in just a moment here. What genocide has Donald Trump committed? Making America successful and good again? What is that? I mean, I know that they want to say, well, your idea of America great was when there was a bunch of slaves running around. By the way, there was a lot more Irish slaves out there and indentured servants than there were a lot of other kinds of slaves. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about how every society in the history of the world had slaves. What did Western society, Western civilization do? We ended it. But you can't tell that to this idiot. She's smarter than everybody else. She is a real smart cookie. So let's take a listen more to what she has to say on why this hat is so horrible to her. And by the way, it's her feelings that matter more than anything else. Her feelings, not yours, not his, not the country's. It's all about her because she's the most important person in the world. I'll bet she got trophies and everything to show you.
Mine, you do not get to take other people's property that is legally theirs in this country.
Man, fuck your laws. All right?
Then get out.
Do you have any fucking conscience?
Yes, I do.
You do?
Yes, and I do.
Really? And that's why you go in there wearing this hat?
That's precisely why.
Because you have a conscience.
Yes.
Okay, by the way,
She stole my hat.
I apologize for the swearing, okay? I'm just letting you hear what she's actually saying, but blank your laws. Again, the laws of America mean nothing to her. She's better than America. She's better than you. She's better than me. She's better than everybody. So the world has to go her way because she's smarter and she's better than you. Continue.
This
She
guy
stole
went
my
up
hat.
there.
I was walking around.
No, let me tell you something.
I was walking
Most
around
of the-
and she went and took the hat off of my head.
Most of the groups in this campus.
It does not
most
matter.
of the groups
I
on
have
this
a
campus
freedom of speech
are-
to wear this
Your
hat.
fucking freedom of speech is genocide, homeboy.
It doesn't matter.
Is that what you're trying to
My freedom of
represent?
speech allows me to wear that hat as much as I
swear
want.
to God, I
You
wish I
do
could
not get
burn
to
this
steal my property.
I swear to God, I
I
could
paid
burn
for
this
that.
shit.
I bought it. It is
I paid for
mine.
that.
It is
You-
mine. Give it back. You give it back. Are you people not going to do anything? She is stealing my property.
Look at the school. Look at the way the administration's handling this. They're on her side.
Look, I don't want to make a big thing out of this,
I
but
do
that is
actually
mine.
know because it's so fucking
That
important
is mine.
that y'all are allowing people
I was
to
up
wear
at the student
this
org retreat, and
on
she
a
stole
campus
it
that
from my
has
head.
the majority people of color in this campus, and you let people walk around and wear this shit.
No. Let's.
Look at this.
Let's calm down.
Make America great again? It was never fucking great. Never.
Then get out, honestly, if you
What
don't
do
like
you
the
mean
country.
get out? I was
Get
born
out.
here.
If you don't like it so
What
much,
you
get
mean
out.
get out? Where the fuck am I gonna go?
Go to
I was
Mexico.
born
Go wherever
here.
the hell you want. Give me
How
back
the fuck
my
do you
hat.
know that I'm brown? You don't know
I
shit
don't
about
care.
me.
I don't care.
What do you mean Mexico?
Give me my hat. That's all I want is my hat back. That's literally all I want.
It's okay.
I started none of this.
It's okay. Let's calm down a little bit. We can talk as a trio here.
Oh,
but
we're gonna get
let's try to just
So
feelings
you're reporting
in.
me like I'm the criminal here.
Because
okay.
you
are.
stole my property. That is
Y'all
literally
stole
a crime.
This land. Your ancestors stole this land.
That is
motherfucker.
literally a crime. That is
Okay.
literally a crime.
Can I take it? Can I be the neutral party and I'll take it?
God, I could burn this shit right now.
Oh my! I mean,
because we can't.
hold on.
We will need to.
Hold on. Well, can I be the neutral party here? What a wussy! This is the problem with America. The men have no masculinity. They've all been told to lose their masculinity, be a bunch of women. And nothing that's wrong with women. I love women, but there should be men and women, and men should be men. Oh, we need to maybe hold hands a little bit and talk, and then things will be better. Let's see how Mr. Candy Ass works through this one. Let's continue here.
To return his property to him, but then we can talk about.
How about we talk about not letting people wear this shit on
How
campus?
about we talk about supporting freedom of speech,
How about we talk
something
about
that
supporting
people
freedom
fought
of speech?
and died
when
for?
When people could have tried to fucking protest and use their freedom of speech, what happens?
People let them. Are you
No,
kidding
that's
me?
not fucking true.
I was at the protest in Berkeley, and I
You
was
are so
the
full of
one who was
shit.
silenced.
Y'all be making these memes and posting about how we just like want to make a riot and we just want to be loud and obnoxious when we're really trying to fight genocide from happening.
Give me
What
my property. That
genocide?
is all I want here.
What
Give
genocide?
me my property, and I will leave, and I will go back to the retreat
Like
where I'm supposed
legit
to be.
fucking think about it. How about you read history
Give me-
books?
give me my property.
Here's part of the problem, that this isn't her fault. It isn't. This is the crap she's learning in school. This is the fault of the left. Yes, I'm blaming you on the left. You're feeding our children just a bunch of garbage, and they're just spoon-feeding it up, eating it like oatmeal. Yum, 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 yum. Keep feeding me, Mommy. Keep feeding me the lies. They're tastier. I can feel better about myself. This is why liberalism is dangerous, because they're teaching our children to hate. You're watching it happen. Oh, she's standing up for her rights. No, she's hating. She doesn't give a rat's ass about anything this guy says or believes. She doesn't care. All she wants is it on her terms. And that's all of them. Oh, there might be one person. Yes, there might be one person on the campus that isn't like that. Yes. The majority of them believe exactly this way, because this is what happens when you're taught to be a victim.
And I will go back up to the retreat, and I will not care.
Let me tell you something. The reason why this is pissing me off, because he wore it in a group where literally most of the organizations in the school are led by people of color, and
including mine. My president is a Filipino.
Oh no way! And does that make you not racist? Because last time I
myself am half Nicaraguan.
Oh my
I don't
God,
care.
You're fucking white, boy. You're white.
Are you assuming that? Are you assuming my race? Are you assuming my race? I mean, come on. Let's be consistent here. Let's be consistent here.
You pass as a white man.
I don't care. I am half Nicaraguan. I am half Nicaraguan. You are assuming.
Judging people based on the color of their skin and not the content of their character. Great job, liberal universities. Great job, kids and teachers in high school and junior high and elementary. Great job teaching these kids this crap. It's gone too far. It's got to stop. We cannot continue to go down this pathway.
My race here. All I want is my property. 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 All I want is my property.
People wear this shit on campus.
All I want is my property. That is all I want here. I paid for that with my own money. And that's all I want is my own money.
Make America great again, really.
All I want is my own property. And honestly, the fact that you people haven't gotten this back for me is sad. It's wrong.
We're going to talk to her.
We're getting someone here.
Yeah,
we're just trying to get everyone to just
I'm fine.
No. We're gonna take a breather.
Honestly, I'm fine. I just want my property. All I want is my property.
That's full of shit, because y'all are just gonna like mediate this and make it so like, oh, we're all okay here, freedom of speech, whatever. How about we actually think about what's going on in this
country that you apparently love so much?
No, I really don't. Though. I
speech.
fucking hate this country.
That's why I say leave.
I hate it, and I'm not.
That's
leaving.
why I say leave.
I'm staying here because there's shit that needs to be fixed here, so that's why I'm staying.
Okay, then you don't. But you don't fix it by breaking the laws.
We need to get rid of all y'all.
But we don't.
Okay, I hate this country, and we need to get rid of all y'all. Is her answer genocide? Is her answer to kill all y'all? What is she trying to say here? And why is this not front story on CNN and MSNBC and every place else condemning this kind of baloney? They can't condemn it because this is their audience.
By breaking the laws. And newsflash, I was born here too. I'm not leaving.
I don't give a fuck where you were born, boy. You got a shitload of privilege in you, and it shows by you wearing this hat.
I don't care. I take the privilege that I wear, that I live in this country. I have freedoms that people fight and die for. Freedoms that allow me to wear that hat. Freedoms that allow you to speak out against it, but not to take my property.
Oh my God, property.
That is the foundation. The foundation of a free country is private property. That is my property. That hat is my property. That hat is my property. Give me my property. That is all I want here. All I want here is my property.
Guys, let me have the hat until we can get somebody down here. Okay?
Wait, is it not going straight back to me? It's my property.
Back to you, but we need to have somebody mediate in the meantime.
We need to give him back his
stuff. Let me just take it so it's out of our hands.
Fine.
We'll take care of it. Just let me take this right now. Okay?
You do not get to take people's property in this country.
I won't give it.
You don't get to take people's property in any country. What the hell are you thinking?
Oh my God. You do not get to take people's lives away either.
I'm not taking anybody's life.
No, actually you are by wearing the hat.
Are you kidding me?
Because you're fucking promoting laws and legislation.
Just because you don't like something, doesn't mean you get to take my property.
You're so fucking full of
just
shit.
because you don't like something doesn't mean you get to take my property. That's not how this works.
Wow, this is an educated woman. She's going to college. I wonder if she's on a scholarship for her brilliant oratory skills. She can't say a sentence without swearing. She has no cogent arguments, no thought of her own. She's nothing but spewing out talking points that her liberal professors have shoved down her throat and she willingly accepted. This has gone too far. It's got to stop.
Okay. Come on, somebody fucking back me up in this shit.
That's not how this works. That's not how this country works.
We're in a country where literally people of color are getting
I guarantee you, nobody in this room likes the position that I take. But they also agree that you can't take people's property.
What's your fucking freedom of speech, boy?
Boy,
I don't care what you have to say.
Fuck it, because your freedom of speech is literally killing a lot of people out there. That's what it is. Because you're out there wearing hats like these that promote laws and legislations that literally kill and murder in the masses people of color.
Who?
Yeah, fuck you for talking to me like that, boy. We're so lucky we're in a university.
Who?
We are lucky.
Yeah, we are. Because if we were out of here, I swear to God.
Okay.
Swear to God.
How about we cool it down now, and then I'd be more than happy for us to chat. I want to give you some space, maybe to air out some of your grievances with me, if that's okay.
What a wussy!
Someone else, is that okay?
What a wussy!
That's totally fine.
What a candy
Literally,
ass!
all I want here is my property back. I didn't want to do any of this. I didn't want to start it, but I paid for that with my own money. This is not how it works.
How are we going?
Well, why don't you give us a chance to talk, and then we can.
Why are you nodding at what he said?
No. I'm just trying to. We're just
neutral.
I'm just trying to.
We don't know nothing.
There's different opinions, and
why don't we go talk? You and me. Let's go in there and talk. Come on.
Yeah.
You want to talk for a little bit?
Wow.
And again, I'm not trying to.
Yeah, no.
I'm not trying to start anything. Honestly,
Oh my God, you're gonna keep letting him wear it. That just shows how the fuck UCR is and the education system.
I just want my property.
It's here
literally
to
all I
benefit
want.
white people. white people, not me, because you know what? Out there, in the premises of the university, I deal with microaggressions on the daily, as do other people of color.
Microaggressions!
And you have people out there wearing hats like those, y'all don't say shit about it.
Because
How
I have a
about
right
that?
to.
Make America great again, really lynchings, mass genocide, mass deportation, constant killings, and y'all are just gonna shut the fuck up? Y'all got me fucked up.
Yes, because you're an idiot. And again, there's the talking points. I'll give her credit. She did learn from her liberal teachers pretty well. But this is... by the way, let's see. Oh, Mark made a good point. The wussy. I forgot. He's got a man bun. The dude with the man bun is such a wussy. Tim says, so pathetic. Greg says, why didn't he call the police on her? Matthew says, yeah, laws and legislation keeping you from verbally treating the guy and doing what you're thinking in your sick mental issue mind. Myrna says, I agree 100%, Rusty. She mirrors the left. Homeschool for your kids. William says they're all scared about getting a hate crime. They're all, none of those guys want to be there because they could be written up and be in trouble. Who knows what some kind of a liberal jury would rule. They probably think that this woman is behaving properly. Let's see. Why didn't security stop her? Asked Janet. Reese says, yeah, mass deportations. Connie says, so sad. Cheryl says, you need to shut up, woman. Thank you, Cheryl. Lisa wants to know if anyone has any duct tape. Joe says, talk about racism. Yeah, she's pretty darn racist, didn't she? Absolutely. Rebecca says, this is what happens with open borders. Now, she said she was born here. I believe her. James says, close all these liberal colleges. William says, especially her French liberal teachers. Fred says, hey, at least he didn't slap her in the face. It's true. Eric says, she's a thief. And by here, physically removing it from his head means she crossed a line, placed her hand on him to take his property directly off his person. She can't complete a competent sentence. Every other word out of her mouth is a curse word, and she admitted multiple times to breaking multiple laws. This is just absolutely sad. Let's get back to it.
I don't want to talk to none of y'all.
Hang on a second.
You know, back upstairs if you want. I would go with this one.
Okay.
Really?
Good.
Really?
Good. That's how this country works. If you take people's...
Yes, good. The cops are there, finally. Now, you know they let her go, and she didn't even hardly get a warning, and they probably gave her a pat on the back and gave her an A for arguing. But this is where it's going too far. Saw another video today. This one put out by our good friend Milo. The emotional difference between the left and the right. Let's take a listen and see what the people on the left think about you and me.
They see themselves as victims, and people are on the left are obsessed with being victims, victimized. But in my experience covering this stuff, it's usually the conservative students that I tend to hear saying, oh, if you're a Republican, your sign gets torn or you're spit on. Like, they really seem to be the ones presenting themselves as victims in my experience.
Yeah, I don't like victimhood wherever it comes from. I think the difference is that the conservatives are right. The difference is that they are discriminated against on campus for their political positions. The left is not. In fact, the left is pandered to and mollycoddled. And I don't like victimhood politics wherever it comes from, but I have a lot more sympathy with the people on the right than I do with on the left, because I think they're right. I think they're correct about everything. Most things, you know. So no, I don't like that style. I don't like that whingy, needy victimhood politics thing. But they're right. They're right. I mean, it's self-evident they're right. And you know what? Even if you don't agree with that they're right, even if you think it's objectively, demonstrably nonsense, enough people feel that way. And the left is all about feelings. You're supposed to be very sensitive to our feelings. It's about. Yeah, the last election is a perfect example of this, of how people are left feeling, and it's kind of a desperate act to vote for Donald Trump, don't you think? And then it had a root, a cause. It came from somewhere, and it came from the left. Came from progressives, came from social justice warriors.
So everyone is naturally inclined to be sensitive, right? To react.
I think conservatives are less. Conservatives will justify.
Maybe Trump was a product of sensitivity.
Sure, but I mean, okay. So it manifests itself differently. For people on the right will do things like they'll show up on college campuses or vote for Donald Trump. People on the left tend to retreat into victimhood and then lash out with sort of bitterness and bile. So they'll do Antifa, but they'll also, no conservative has ever gone to a safe space to watch puppy videos and coddle cushions.
Okay, great job, Milo. By the way, have you shared the video tonight? Have you let people know that we're out there? We're trying to get the truth out, and it's very important. And tonight is one of those nights. I know it's Friday, but this stuff will go all weekend long. The more you share this out on your page, and the more thumbs ups you give, the more hearts, whatever it is, the more comments that you make on Facebook, and if you're listening to the podcast. By the way, today's International Podcast Day. Hope you're having a happy podcast day. Do you ever listen to podcasts? The Rusty Humphries Rebellion is in the top of all conservative podcasts in the world. My friend Ben Shapiro has a bigger one, but not many more. And I want to thank you for that. But if you've never ever listened to a podcast, all a podcast is a radio show that you can listen to 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can go and find it. For example, I've got my iPhone here, right? And if you have an iPhone, all you have to do is look for the podcast app. It's a little purple app right there, if you can see it, right? Oops, on this other side. And then if you click on it, a bunch of different podcasts will pop up, and all you have to do is look for ones that you might like the Rusty Humphries Rebellion, and you subscribe to it, and it automatically shows up on your phone. Now, if you see on mine, I've got the podcast that I do with Orson Scott Card called We Review Everything, and the show that we put up yesterday is What Makes Sci-Fi Movies Work or Fail. And then you can see my last podcast, Facts. Who needs facts when liberals have all those good darn emotions? And then Piff the Magic Dragon. I love his podcast. And then one from Blunt Force Truth with Chuck Woolery and Mark Young. So anyway, the podcasts are really good. And then, if you've got Bluetooth in your car and a smartphone, you can just listen to it on your radio, just like you in your car, just like you would any other radio show, except you can start it, stop it, far fewer commercials. And it's, I think it's generally a superior format than today's radio. So I hope you'll check out the Rusty Humphries Rebellion podcast and share it and like it. If you can comment on iTunes or Stitcher or iHeartRadio or Google Play or any place you find great podcasts, you'll probably find the Rusty Humphries Rebellion. There's a new one called, that I really like. It's easy to use too. Let me find it here. It's called Radio something. Radio Public. Radio Public is a good new app. And it's very easy to find shows on there, and it's graphically easier, and so I like that one too. You just have to go to your app store and download Radio Public, and then type in my name, Rusty Humphries. You'll find me. Okay, very interesting. One more video I want to share with you tonight. And again, have you shared the video? I need some thumbs ups. I need some hearts. I need some love right now. Let's get a little love out there, would you please? Put a little love out there. I want to see you. Okay, one more video. Deplorable veteran Dennis checking in from Hawaii. Thank you. Brian thinks Milo's way cool. Very sharp as well. Gregory had to check on. Thank you. James shares the video every time he catches me live. Thank you, James. I appreciate it. Brian is giving Ben his shirt. Yeah, Ben I've known Ben since he was 14 years old. Ben Shapiro. He's a good dude. I've known him since he was a little kid. He was even smart back then. So it's great to see him succeed. Okay, a video, and this one's a little bit longer. They went, another podcaster, a guy named Steven Crowder, probably seen him before. And he did this, Milo, I guess, had something to do with it, and some other conservative bloggers. And it's a video that is showing an undercover investigation inside Antifa. And I want to share it with you here. It's important. You should watch it because you won't see it on the mainstream media. That's why we do this show every night. We want to go around the mainstream media to get you the truth. Share this video now so people know this story about Antifa, because this is pretty bad.
Protests, violence, riots, calling everyone a Nazi. This is the MO of Antifa. We've all seen it, but the media, politicians, and academia all defend, deflect, or completely deny.
They are strictly principled anti-fascists.
What we saw were some brave people
risking their lives.
That group protests fascism. Maybe their tactics weren't exactly right. It's messy.
Antifa are people who go and they try to push back on these guys, but it is not the case that they are going around building an armed movement.
Fascism cannot be defeated through speech. You need to take it with the utmost seriousness before it's too late.
Black Lives Matter, the Antifa movement, is interested in preserving the fabric of America.
Antifa is one of those things that somebody came up with as a catchphrase so that you could say, you know, oh, there is violence on the other side.
Why is that? Why defend the indefensible? Are they really just an inconsequential group of rabble-rousers? How deep does Antifa's organization go? What's their end game? Well, for several months, we tracked and infiltrated Antifa, culminating in their violent protest of the notorious Jewish Nazi speaker, Ben Shapiro, at the University of Utah. But before we get to the part where we send Not Gay Jared in undercover, vulnerable, afraid, and shaking like a Chinese crested without one of those little gay sweaters, a little backstory.
I want to kick my own ass.
In order to get in with the Antifa crowd, we had to infiltrate their private groups. After news broke that they were officially classified as a domestic terrorist organization, they pulled everything in much closer to the chest. They started vetting people, becoming paranoid about spies. They demanded we meet with them in person, installing a cryptic messaging app onto our phone, which they used to organize.
So I just met with the guy, and he installed a super secret encrypted messenger app on my phone, and they immediately took roll call, using all pseudonyms such as Firebird, Ski Mask, Xavius. Yeah, everyone except for Will.
Yes, Will, whom we immediately identified on Facebook. Will also boasted of his sawed-off shotguns and armory in his trunk. At least that's what he said.
I have a toolbox full of shit.
Did you bring your gun?
I have like on the border between just a regular rifle and an assault weapon and a sawed-off style shotgun. It's a fan.
Yeah,
you need
like
supplies.
last ditch.
Blue Subaru with a dent on the side, on the driver's side. That's mine.
So remember, just as the local authorities will remember, this is Will. What happened to you, Will? Somewhere on the way, you lost yourself. Believe me, it gets worse. The context makes all of this so much worse. Oh, also, yes, the violent Antifa organizer is seemingly tranny and or genderqueer. Patience. Now, to be fair, anyone can likely show up and protest, but they told us that all of this was required if we wanted to take part in their self-professed tactics. Now, just what do they mean by tactics? Well, we found out the next day. Again, patience. First, to understand what their tactics are, understand that Antifa is now in a PR battle. So what they claim and what they do are two very different things.
Just plain clothes and hard tactics, and I don't think they'll know what hit them. Because they're not prepared for what we're planning.
Despite wanting to put distance between themselves and Antifa, and despite what resident gay Asian SJW-in-chief George Takei tweets out, Antifa has never operated alone. They've been actively supported by professors and other leftist and student organizations. For example, current University of Utah faculty like Cindy Geraldine Solomon Kleppa and Alinda McKenna encouraged and emboldened students to disrupt the Ben Shapiro event and to create chaos.
People like Ben Shapiro are the most dangerous people on this earth. And we're going to fight him tomorrow, aren't we? Yes.
Solidarity and student
Hold on a second. Ben Shapiro, can I take that back? Because I can't even believe it. Again, I've known Ben Shapiro since he's 14 years old. Ben Shapiro is one of the most dangerous people on the planet? I mean, they really believe this stuff? Are you kidding me? Let's hear that again, because this is crazy. This is absolutely nuts.
McKenna encouraged and emboldened students to disrupt the Ben Shapiro event and to create chaos.
People like Ben Shapiro are the most dangerous people on this earth. And we're going to fight him tomorrow, aren't we?
Yes. Why? Because he is great at debating and beats your asses every single time? Is that what it is? He's dangerous because he's good at knowing and pointing out your lies? He's dangerous because he tells the truth? He's dangerous because we continue to point out idiots like you? That's what's dangerous? What a dumbass. Let me continue, shall we?
Solidarity. And student organizations like the Students for a Democratic Society, because that's a thing, not only work alongside Antifa when convenient, but work with them to scope out police and even to provide pseudo-security by committing acts of violence.
Antifa is, just to be clear, it's not an organization.
That's what we want to know.
It's short for anti-fascist, and I'm absolutely anti-fascist.
And I would echo what Ian just said. Antifa
as a label does not mean one static organization, but it's definitely an ideology, a movement, a stance, if you may, of anti-fascism, bar none.
We signs explicitly ask these people who show up in Black Bloc to show up, these Antifa people to show up, because, in the past we've been threatened by 3%ers, we've been threatened by neo-Nazis, we've been threatened by these people before, and their presence gives people an immense more amount of safety.
Now, according to Antifa's own words, what makes them different?
The difference between them and many of the other activist groups is the willingness to respond with violence.
See, the ultimate problem with Antifa and the organizations and professors who support them is that because they paint their opposition as Nazis, they've developed their very own unique code as to what warrants a violent response. They are ready and looking for it.
Okay, you're gonna take the knife. How much of did you bring your gun?
I have on the border between just a regular rifle and an assault weapon and a sawed-off style shotgun.
And then I've got a handgun. Yeah, we got 2 AKs coming.
The willingness to respond with violence, the way that I would address what you were just asking about is I don't want to disavow an ally within the movement. The no pictures, that part, I would say it's understandable given what I was just talking about with anonymity.
Now, context, don't forget. What you gotta do can include violence against anyone you call a Nazi. They call Ben Shapiro a Nazi. They're allowed to commit violence against anyone filming them. And just how violent can they get?
If you go down to the military surplus store, the Navy surplus store, whatever, you can get a K-bar for $30-40, and it's just a combat knife. It's a fixed blade, 5 inches or so, but it's just you strap it on your leg and you're good to go. I mean, this one's tiny, so you have to really stab them the whole time. Yeah, and last ditch is gonna be lure them down here.
Whoa, hold. Luring people to their cars with sawed-off shotguns and handing out knives and shivs. This went far beyond a goof, and we needed to get Nake Jared out of there. Good thing the man's got a quick mind.
Is there a place to shit around here? I don't know this campus.
And to the right.
All right, I'll be right back. You guys could be in a few minutes.
Yes, at the risk of being called a snitch, Nake Jared immediately turned the footage over to the authorities, who were already aware of our presence there, by the way. Turns out they'd been tracking this pansexual / transgender queer with an axe to grind for a while, and they were grateful for our footage. The media, on the other hand, who you think would jump on a story like this, well, their response is what's most disturbing of all. He was just down there at President's Circle, and they were handing out sharp objects to stab people with, said they had someone coming with an AK. Why did it take 2 late-night hosts, comedians, to find this out?
You know what, I wish you guys luck.
Yes, you just saw correctly. Even being shown the footage in the presence of police officers to confirm authenticity, they walked away. Also, I should note, this is Dan Harris from Nightline, national ABC News. He knew about the footage and the whole story, too. I offered it to him and asked for his card. He did not give it to me. We were delivering a story to local and national news on a silver platter which included infiltration, violence, and exposing the roots of a national domestic terrorist organization. And no one even wanted to give it a glimpse? Not one person? It didn't even get mentioned.
Protesters flooding the campus trying to shut down conservative speaker Ben Shapiro's appearance.
These are protesters that are against Ben Shapiro, conservative.
Only these people didn't call Ben Shapiro controversial. They called him a Nazi. And they aren't there to protest. They are there to punch Nazis as they chalk and paint on the walls or commit violence against people filming them, depending on the day. Case in point, our footage assisted with leading to the arrests of these violent protesters. Good example, codename Honeybee? Her real name is Jenna. Now, let me be clear here. We do not want to dox anyone, and we ask that none of you dox anyone. But we do want you to alert your local authorities if you recognize any of these people. These folks aren't playing a game anymore. This is serious violence. Take this black girl who committed assault. Now, we couldn't find any official arrest record, but we did post this on Facebook, and then this happened. So we immediately ID'd her as well. Grace. They're so easy to trick. Officers, we appreciate your service. Now, of course, the next day, when the inevitable violence that we warned about broke out, so-called journalists were all over it. Because, they're lazy. Here's the thing. Antifa and its supporters are openly practicing violence. Worse, they plan it. They plan to escalate it, as you can see. Now, if they call Ben Shapiro or me a Nazi, what does that make you? If they justify violence against someone with I don't know, an iPhone camera? What can they do to you? But worst of all, why did it take a late-night podcast host and his producer to do this kind of journalism? Cryptic messaging apps, private groups, handing out illegal weapons, and planning tactics. You mean to tell me that no one at ABC, NBC, CBS, CNN with billions of dollars in resources could have done this? It took Steven Crowder and not gay Jared to pull it off with some plane tickets and a couple burner phones? Sure, listen, Antifa is violent, they suck. We get it, very violent. But the fact that the media has never reported on any of this begs the question, are they complicit? Is the media complicit with all of this? Or do they just suck at their job?
All right, Steven Crowder, good job on that report. And that's important stuff, man. And the question is, when is this going to stop? It's gone too far. Is it too late? I hope not. I'd like to get your thoughts. Do you think it's too late? Do you think we can get our country back from these idiots? Or are we just going to leave this great republic to these children who will never grow up? Comment right here on Facebook, would you? Let me know what you think. You can email me, Rusty at rustylive.com, Rusty at rustylive.com. You can go to rustylive.com, and there's a place where you can leave me a voicemail. I might even play it on the air. I want you involved. We need to stand up. The idea that you're going to call a Orthodox Jew, Ben Shapiro, a Nazi, and the media doesn't want to report on that, that's okay with them, means we are in some serious, serious problems. Let's see here. Lyndon says it's George Soros' army. Jerry says Antifa is planning attacks on America November 4th. Gail thinks we need to arrest Soros. Gladys says the media owners are complicit. Lisa says, I guess we'll see on November 4th. Different Lisa says the left won't let us take our country back. Jerry thinks that ABC Nightline is complicit in these unlawful acts. Peter's got to go. He's heading to Puerto Rico to drive trucks. He says, see you on the flip side. Thank you, Peter. Great work. And you know what? Let us know when you're back and maybe give us a little report on what happened out there. I'd like to hear, the frontline report from somebody who was there. That would be awesome. All right. Before we wrap things up here, I want to remind you to check out one of our sponsors, DerMend. Dermatologist recommended DerMend Mature Skin Solutions. It's moisturizing anti-itch lotion, and it works fantastic. If you're a seasoned citizen, you apply this on your skin a couple times a day or as directed by your physician, and it will, with its specially formulated process here, specially formulated cream, it is there to help you with your itchy, mature skin with moisturizers, skin conditioning agents, and Promoxide HCI to relieve that itch and irritation. Find DerMend products at Walmart, Walgreens, or other great retailers. And that's what the box looks like. It's good stuff. It's like this on the side. It's like this on the other side. Go get this, would you please? I'm here Monday through Friday. I wasn't here yesterday because I couldn't get on. Facebook didn't let me on for some reason. So, oh well. We're on now. I want to thank you very much. I hope you have a great weekend. Please have a great weekend. Get out there, enjoy the gifts of our country and of your family. We don't need to sit around and be mopey and upset all the time. Just because the left has taken it too far doesn't mean that you can't live a nice, healthy, strong, fulfilling life. We just have to stand up against this crap. Find my podcast, The Rusty Humphries Rebellion, on iTunes and Stitcher. Another great podcast is Blunt Force Truth, hosted by Chuck Woolery and Mark Young. It's a great show. I think you'll enjoy that one, too, if you like this show. And it's International Podcast Day, so thank you for being a part of this. May God bless you, and may God bless America. I'm Rusty Humphries, and this is The Rusty Humphries Rebellion.